Hi, and thanks for listening to Gossip with Celebrity, where we talk about celebrity gossip, entertainment news, fashion, and royals. This week, we're going to talk about the stories we just covered at Celebrity.com, including a hostless Oscars with upsets in several major categories, and how people thought Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper's chemistry was real. We catch up with Miranda Lambert's quickie marriage to a New York City police officer she's known all of 3 months. We'll also cover the royals, including Duchess Meghan and Prince Harry visiting Morocco, and Prince William and Duchess Kate visiting Northern Ireland. We talk about Jordyn Woods' interview with Jada Pinkett Smith after she was accused of cheating with Khloe Kardashian's boyfriend. We'll answer reader questions, like whether we've gotten stories wrong. Yes, of course we have, and there are some doozies. We end with our weekly feature, the comments of the week. The photos and stories we talk about here can be found at Celebrity.com under the podcast section at the top, and the link is in our show notes. Hi, I'm Katie, the founder and editor of Celebrity.com, and I write as Celebrity.
Hi, I'm Chandra. I'm the head writer for Celebrity, and I write as Kaiser.
So I'm so glad to talk to you because we didn't talk last week. We did put out a podcast, but because the Oscars were coming up, I put it together from some of our older stuff from the previous week. And so much good gossip happened. We didn't get to talk about all the gossip, and I missed that.
Yeah, it goes to what I've been saying. Gossip, it feels very disposable these days. Like,
yes.
There aren't that many long-running stories that last, say, even more than a week.
Well, the Jordyn Woods, we're going to get into the Jordyn Woods story in a minute. That has lasted a little bit longer, and I think that just speaks to the Kardashian PR machine and how Jordyn is trying to extend her time.
You have to give the Kardashians some credit. They know how to keep a story going and give you new information every single day. They understand that
they do,
that it's a 24-hour news cycle. Khloe's not just wallowing in one storyline. She's got a lot of different storylines going, all related to Tristan and Jordyn. But we'll talk about that.
We will. We'll talk about that next. We were going to talk about the Oscars first because we just had the Oscars. No one's going to care by the time this comes out on Monday. But
well, they might care a little bit because I'm still torn up about Green Book. I really am.
I am too. And I think this lends a legitimacy to that piece of crap film that it really does not deserve.
Well, first, let me say, on the record in the podcast, that I am so sorry for how we split up our assignments. Because every year we split up assignments about who's going to cover what on the actual night of the Oscars.
Yes.
And usually we do a very good job of figuring out who's seen what, who feels strongly about which person. And I completely got it wrong. I thought Glenn Close was going to be a sure thing. Of course.
Oh, yeah.
How could she not be? And then
exactly.
I told you that Green Book had zero chance. So you hadn't even seen Green Book. And I was the one who saw it to take one for the team and see how fucking crappy it was. And it was absolutely crappy.
Totally appreciate it. I always agree with you almost always about movies, 80% of the time. So we pre-write the awards. That's the only award show that we cover live as it happens. And we usually do the photos and we pre-write the awards based on the odds makers. And I read, of course, that Roma was going to win Best Picture like everybody read. I saw another statistical analysis that gave me a lot of hope that could have been Black Klansman. And I was like, all right, I'd be okay with that. And then I was thinking, well, it might even be Black Panther because they were a surprise win at the SAGs.
Right.
And that's their peers too.
And I thought those are the three big options. Either it's going to be
yes.
Roma, the sure thing, or it's going to be surprise Black Klansman or Black Panther.
You always do those. And when we used to work with Bedhead, she would cover that category because she's on mountain time. So she's not as tired as us. But in the past few years, you've been doing it. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. Sure. Because you do a lot of the heavy lifting. I don't mind it at all. And I had seen more of the movies. I got why you wanted me to do it. And I was like, okay.
I was still traumatized after the La La Land Moonlight fiasco 2 years ago. Because I was
oh, yeah.
I was up trying to write about that. And as it was unfolding, I was like, holy crap, what the hell is happening?
That was hard that must have been hard to cover. Yeah. I didn't even think of that. So I had pre-written a little bit for Green Book, just in case. I wrote a paragraph about what trash it was. And I had
You should have asked me. I could have written something about it just in case. And we did.
Well, I didn't know I would need it. I just was like, okay, I'll do this. I didn't write anything for poor Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
But of course I had seen that movie and I liked her. So it was easier for me to write that on the fly. And then right after that came Best Director and Best Picture. I used the post that I wrote for Best Director and Best Picture being Roma, and then I just threw Green Book in there, and I was like, I can't believe they won. They suck. This is a travesty. I had put in some words that said that Roma also won Best Picture, and someone was nicely corrected me in the comments. I deleted that because I was embarrassed, and I was like, oops, I better take that out. It's really too bad because now more people are going to see that movie. You did an analysis of why it won, and it's partially due to that weighted voting system where it's probably the second or third choice for a lot of people, but there were so many other good movies that they split the vote.
It was obviously a combination of things. I do think the weighted balloting was a big issue. It hurt that there were 3 movies that were like the woke choice. Roma was a woke choice because it was about Spanish language. It was about domestic workers.
Yes.
Then with Black Panther and Black Klansman, obviously those are, majority African-American cast.
And they were both really strong movies. Yeah. And I could see people voting for Black Klansman over Black Panther because Black Panther was, a superhero movie. But Black Panther was also I thought it was really good. And it was a fun, entertaining movie. And Black Klansman was kind of weighty. But it had its funny moments, too. It was a great film.
Yeah.
I loved Spike Lee's press conference.
Yeah, he's at the age where he doesn't give a fuck anymore. And God bless him.
He doesn't care. The Oscars are old. They're white. They're awarding mediocrity.
It could have been about a jazz musician, but it ended up being about his white driver and how his white driver solved racism. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Thanks for watching it. No, I don't have to.
But it's interesting that the biggest story coming out of the Oscars was not the Green Book fiasco, Best Picture fiasco. It wasn't even Olivia Colman, even though I think people were genuinely shocked about that. But it was just like a 24-hour story, really. But the biggest story is Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper and whether or not they're boning.
All right, I just want to say thank you for actually liking that. You were like, oh, that was a really good performance. It was touching. I didn't even like the performance. I did not care about it, but I was glad that you liked it because at least one of us did.
I did like it. I thought it was really beautiful. I thought they staged it really well. I thought you could tell that Bradley and Gaga had really rehearsed it. And I liked that they cared.
They had a lot of work to do to get to that point.
Yeah, but they cared enough to do that work, and it showed. They really worked to make sure that they were singing a love song together and that they looked like they loved each other, that they enjoyed each other.
Yes.
And I thought the performance itself was just very good. I thought he sounded pretty good. Everyone was like, oh, his voice broke. I thought he sounded good.
Did okay.
Yeah, and Gaga sounded like Gaga.
They did a great job. They sold the love story.
Yeah. I wish that Kendrick Lamar had been there and SZA.
Yes.
I think they would have done a really good performance too. I don't know what's going on with Kendrick. I feel like there's gossip there, but I don't want to speculate.
All right, we won't talk about it then because I don't know enough either. I heard that he's kind of laying low for some reason. So Mel B kind of started this off by saying that Lady Gaga broke the woman code by being so loved up with Bradley Cooper because Irina Shayk should worry about it. Because her man is, and Lady Gaga, of course, just broke up with her boyfriend guy that she was dating.
Christian Karina.
Yeah.
Christian Karina. She broke up with, that was surprising. And I don't think it had anything to do with Bradley Cooper.
No.
It's so unusual for someone to break up with their partner, their fiance, in the middle of an award season. It's just shocking.
Yeah.
Usually they wait till maybe 2 weeks after the Oscars.
So everything's died down. Uh-huh. Yeah, and she has a date, but maybe in the whole lead up to it, she didn't have enough time for him, and that was that kind of breakup.
I just feel like that's the story. What happened between them is the bigger story than Lady Gaga and Bradley looked at each other with heart eyes. You know, they were performing. They were trying to perform this love song, and I thought it worked. But anyway. Yes.
And she just went on Kimmel and said that, you know, she was performing with them and they're performers and she's glad people bought it.
Yeah, so Mel B said she broke the woman code. I don't think she broke the woman code. Do you?
No. The woman code is you don't sleep with your friend's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. They're not friends, so she didn't break the woman code.
And plus, she didn't sleep with Bradley.
No, she didn't.
She just performed with them. You know,
people were mad at you. I was laughing. I'm so sorry that happened, but people were yelling at you that you were wrong and they had such chemistry on screen. I'm like, did you watch the same movie as we did? Because they did not.
I mean,
seriously.
No offense to the younger listeners of this podcast, but if you are at an age where you think A Star is Born is like the greatest love story that you've ever seen on screen, then you need to watch more movies. You need to watch more movies.
Oh, Beale Street had a beautiful, beautiful romance. But yeah, no, not A Star is Born. No.
Watch An Affair to Remember, maybe. Start there.
Ooh, I haven't seen that.
You've never seen An Affair to Remember?
No.
Oh my God.
I know. Who's in it?
Cary Grant and Deborah Carr.
Okay. I'll watch it. I promise I'll watch it.
I'm a big Cary Grant fan. Another one where he has like crazy chemistry. Well, Cary Grant had crazy chemistry with like all of his leading ladies, but I love anything that he did with Ingrid Bergman. Anything.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
The week we didn't record, Miranda Lambert announced that she was married to a 27-year-old New York City-based police officer named Brendan McLaughlin. And I'm reading this because there's no way I would remember this guy's name because he's brand new and she's had several others. I looked through the timeline and you made a timeline. Like I was looking through our posts to get your post to get the timeline. And then I saw that you had done the whole thing and we had the same idea. So she was with that guy, Anderson East, for 2 years up until February 2018. She probably cheated on what's his face with Anderson.
I think Anderson East was just purely jump off. I don't think that Miranda and Anderson East had an affair while she was married with Blake Shelton.
Okay.
I think Miranda was, well, I don't know how into the weeds I want to get, but I think Miranda was boning some other men who were probably in relationships when she was with Blake Shelton.
Okay.
And then she got a bad reputation because of all the Blake Shelton stuff, so she went looking for someone very like clean and vanilla, and that was Anderson East.
Ooh.
He served his purpose for a few years. And then she met another married man by the name of, what was his name?
Evan Felker.
Yeah, Evan Felker. And
I have it written down. There's no way I would remember.
Yeah, and so she home wrecked Evan Felker within a matter of like literally days.
And we know because his wife dropped hints on Instagram. He ghosted his wife. His band opened for Miranda's band, and then boom, he filed for divorce and ghosted his wife. And then in August, she dumped him, and she told people, or like a source told people or something, he broke one of her rules, probably by talking to his ex, trying to get their divorce settled.
Uh-huh. And
then, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so that happened like August of last year, and then that's right around the time. No, she meets this New York cop in when is it supposed to be? November. So she was single. She was single for like a whole 2 months. And then she meets this New York cop and his girlfriend, his live-in girlfriend, mind you. Let's go back a little bit because it's even more complicated. So
this story is so complicated.
So Brendan McLaughlin had a fiance. He cheated on his fiance. His mistress got pregnant. Then his mistress started living with him and his family. And that's when Miranda met him. And so his pregnant mistress was living with him. And Miranda says,
gosh.
Yep, this is...
No, I thought Miranda met him when the month he had the baby.
Yeah.
Like in November.
Yeah, his pregnant mistress was living with him.
It was right around the time she had the baby.
Right. The mistress had the baby days after he met Miranda. Miranda's PR is trying to convince us that it was love at first sight and that they were together since November while, meanwhile he's having this baby with this woman.
Yeah, that is insane. And he's the one with her at the steakhouse.
Yeah, the salad tossing.
When she's throwing shit. So she is well matched with this guy because they both...
I loved all of the comments where they were like suggesting country music songs called "What Are You Doing in My Apartment?" and "Get Out of Here, You Stank." And
3 months, she married this dude after 3 months. And he's like a serial cheater. She met her match, man. So do you give him till the summer?
Well, he's so much drama, you never know. I think maybe they might last for a little bit longer than we're thinking because he can match her in drama and she'll love that. She'll love the give and take.
Oh,
so maybe a year tops. But probably they'll probably end a lot sooner.
I'm hoping they flame out this summer and it like livens up the summer gossip a little bit.
Well, I think we'll find out about a new mistress by the summer. How about that?
Oh, okay. Is that a deal breaker to Miranda, or does she consider that like competition?
We'll see. We'll definitely see.
So the Duchesses, Meghan and Duchess Kate and Prince Harry and Prince William have been doing a lot the past couple of weeks. They've been really showing up for stuff. Meghan and Harry went to Morocco for like a state visit, and Kate and William went to Belfast.
Yeah, they went to Northern Ireland. The Northern Ireland trip was not announced for security reasons, which I understand.
Okay. I saw Dairy Girls.
It's not like one of those surprise trips where I feel like they just organized it 2 hours beforehand. I know they organized this trip for a while and they really did have like legitimate security concerns.
Yes.
But yeah, Will and Kate, they've seemed perky this year, haven't they?
Yeah, it's cute. It's really cute. I mean, we know why that's happening, but also it's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. I thought Meghan looked beautiful in Morocco. I loved all of her outfits.
She did.
I liked how she was able to keep it pretty conservative. I loved her jewelry. She wore some big earrings.
Ooh, I gotta look at that now.
And yeah, she just looked really cute.
She had that red Valentino dress, and then she had that Carolina Herrera blue.
Yeah, the blue
dress,
kind of like moo almost, and then the very beigey neutral Dior.
Oh, that was pretty. That Dior, I like that one. And I liked her little, what do they call it, Breton stripe top with a jacket. It's very her style.
I thought she was copying Kate a little bit.
Well, she owned that jacket already, right?
Yeah, but the striped top, I mean, Kate owns that look. Kate loves a striped top with skinny jeans.
It's cute. It's a cute, easy look. She's so cute, pregnant too. She's got that full face.
Yeah, she is a very cute pregnant girl.
What were people arguing about? Like people,
they argue about everything.
So
I mean, everything and nothing.
I'm blown away by some of the comments. I'm like, where are you coming from? I don't get it. Like why it's that polarizing. Today we heard from Priyanka Chopra. Mm-hmm. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Priyanka Chopra.
But it wasn't her. It was like a source spoke to Page 6. So it might be her. It might be some sketchy other thing saying that she was mad that Meghan didn't go to her 15 weddings or whatever. And I'm like, really? But this is the thing. Like, my mom's mad at her best friend because she didn't invite her to her daughter's wedding. People get mad when they don't invite somebody or when somebody doesn't come. And
I think that
it could be real.
I think Priyanka probably invited Meghan, and Meghan was like, yeah, I'm not going all the way to India to spend a month going to all your friggin' weddings.
Or even 5 days, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is. And it's a huge diplomatic issue now that Meghan is a duchess. She was pregnant. She had just gotten back from the South Pacific tour. I understand why she didn't go to India for any of those friggin' weddings.
And it would have been expensive. And she was criticized for going to New York for her baby shower when all her friends paid for it.
Yeah.
And if she had gone to India, it would have been expensive and everyone would have been like, well, who's paying for the security? And she's going to this lavish wedding and she would have been bashed for that too.
Yeah.
I get why she didn't go.
I do think it's weird that Priyanka didn't go to the baby shower. And I think that was probably what Page 6 picked up on.
Oh, okay.
Priyanka didn't really have a good reason for avoiding the baby shower. So,
and a lot of A-listers went, and a lot of people who aren't necessarily close to Meghan, but they've known her since she's gone with Prince Harry went.
Yeah, I mean, Amal Clooney and Serena Williams are there. Of course, Priyanka could have made time for that.
Yes.
But Meghan covers both Us Weekly and People Magazine this week. The People story is just a general positive story about how she had her baby shower in New York and all of her friends love her. And that's basically it.
Yes.
Like, that's the whole cover story. I mean, this week's story is just very non-controversial. She's not going to upset anybody. It was just sort of like, here are the British tabloids freaking out about the baby shower, and here's what actually happened. It was just really nice.
Yes.
The Us Weekly cover story is basically saying that Meghan wants a bigger say in her communications and she wants to have a direct voice, which I think is probably true. And I think we'll see that in the months to come, especially after the baby is born.
And Us Weekly also says that Kate's going to throw her a baby shower. And I think they're just spinning that so they can sell copies.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't either.
So the big story for the past 2 weeks or so was that Tristan Thompson cheated on Khloe Kardashian again, but this time he cheated on her with Jordyn Woods, who is Kylie Jenner's best friend.
Yes.
It was very close to home for Kylie, for Khloe, and Tristan. Yeah, he knew that he had to get out of the relationship with Khloe, and all of his other infidelities didn't really matter to her. So he cheated on her with someone who was very close to her family. That was the big story. Like, every day there was some new information, and Khloe was like so pissed off, and Kylie, she had, all these trust issues now because she had to break up with her best friend. Jordyn Woods broke her non-disclosure agreement with the family and sat down for an interview with Jada Pinkett Smith on the Red Table. What is it? Red Table Talk or Red Table Talk.
I always want to make it plural, but it's not. The interesting thing about that is it was really like this family versus family thing where the Smiths were coming out on Jordyn's side because her dad used to be a sound engineer on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he's since passed. And they were really showing their loyalty to her and that she has this powerful family behind her just as much as the Kardashians went after her in the press.
It shows that Jordyn Woods is not some unconnected little girl that, the Kardashians just sort of adopted. She actually has a power base in Hollywood. And I think that what the interview and the reactions to the interview showed was that she has backup. Black Twitter has her back.
And a lot of people are bringing up the fact that Khloe, her boyfriends have been attached to other women when she's gotten with them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she got with Tristan when his girlfriend was pregnant.
And that's not entirely on Khloe, but since she's blaming the other woman, at least initially she did until she saw how everybody reacted to the Red Table Talk and was on Jordyn's side, she goes after the other woman. She never blames the boyfriend because she's a clinger, frankly. I mean, you said that to me before. She would rather fight the other woman and confront the other woman. And we heard this with Lamar a lot. She'd rather do that than face the fact that she married a cheater or she's in a relationship with a cheater in Tristan's case.
What bothers me is that all of her boyfriends, and especially Tristan, they cheat on her constantly with multiple women, and she looks the other way and looks the other way, and she's this doormat.
Yeah.
It really bothers me, especially now that she has a daughter.
Oh, that's a good point.
The whole thing about whether or not Tristan and Jordyn really hooked up, the story was always that it was just a kiss. They were kind of on top of each other. No one ever claimed that she slept with him.
There was, I guess, stories about some kind of lap dance that she gave him. Here's a section of her interview with Jada Pinkett Smith where she said that she did kiss him, but it was in the morning and that he initiated it, and that she definitely did not sleep with him. She did also tell a complicated story about how she sat on the edge of his chair and draped her legs over his legs.
On the way out, he did kiss me.
No,
And
what do you mean by kiss?
it's just no passion, no nothing on the way out. He just kissed me and
Like a tongue kiss, like a peck on the lips, peck on the, like a...
no, it was like a kiss on the lips, but no tongue kiss, no making out.
Got it.
Nothing.
Straight up.
Okay.
Did you sleep with Tristan?
Never.
Got it.
Never a thought, never a consideration, never happened, and never will I.
It is interesting to me that the two examples she gave of why people would misinterpret whatever happened between her and Tristan were things that other people could witness. It was a little bit sketchy to me. I don't care either way if she hooked up with him or not, but I think that more happened than what she's admitting to.
I also think it's worth noting she's 21 and she was drunk.
Yeah, and we did stupid shit like that when we were that age.
Yeah, exactly. I believe her in that. I believe that Tristan initiated it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think she initiated it. I think she just sort of went along because she was drunk and she's 21 and she's dumb.
Yes. The way she phrased some of her stuff, I was like, a little bit more happened than she's talking about, but I don't blame her for not discussing that, given the power of the Kardashians who have really come out against her.
Exactly.
And they should be going out against Tristan, but Khloe doesn't want to admit that she should have dumped the guy a year and a half ago.
Yeah, exactly. I gave her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she just wanted to have the baby. That was the immediate concern.
Yes.
You know, when she found out that he was cheating on her constantly throughout her pregnancy, I was like, okay, just give her a few months. She's going to have the baby.
And it wasn't like one woman or rumors. There were so many photos and evidence. And like, the whole internet knew, Khloe, you're not fooling anybody.
Exactly. And she still wanted to present this image of a, Instagram perfect family. She's an idiot.
She really is. She really is.
All right. So you're going to play the clip of Jordyn talking about how she's not the one who ruined Khloe and Tristan's relationship.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. Here's that clip.
Do you feel as though you are the reason why Tristan and Khloe are not together?
I know I'm not the reason that Tristan and Khloe are not together.
Well, I think it's interesting. It feels shady. I'll say that. It feels shady that Jordyn is coming out saying, I'm not the one who ruined this relationship. This relationship was ruined a long time ago.
Yes.
But, of course, Khloe had to tweet about it. This is what Khloe tweeted at first. This was on Friday as the interview came out. She said, "Why are you lying, Jordyn Woods? If you're going to try and save yourself by going public, instead of calling me privately to apologize first, at least be honest about your story. By the way, you are the reason my family broke up." Oh.
Because if
Khloe.
she wasn't so famous and public, then Khloe could keep burying her head in the sand and pretending that everything's okay.
Yeah. Like, I think the backlash was so severe that after a few days, or after one day, Khloe came back on Twitter and said, "Oh, actually, yeah, Tristan's the one whose fault it was for all of this." I still believe that Khloe and Tristan had already pretty much broken up by the time that this whole Tristan and Jordyn thing happened. I think that's another reason why Jordyn's saying it's not my fault. And
Jordyn was probably just trying to force Khloe's hand because she keeps taking him back. And
I think Tristan was trying to force Khloe's hand.
My bad.
Yeah.
Jordan's like a dude's name.
No, I've known a lot of guys named Jordyn.
Tristan, blah, fuck. I was going to say Jordyn. So... I can't with this story. Okay, let's move on to user questions, and we're going to play a voicemail from Denise in Australia. And before I do that, I just want to say our number is 434-218-3219, and that's where you can call us to leave a voicemail message or text us. And you can email us at info@celebritchy.com, and we're also on Twitter and Instagram.
Hey ladies, my name is Denise Duffield Thomas and I have been loving your podcast. I live in Australia and I've been driving around, absolutely loving every part of it. I have a question about your sources. So my mum loves gossip, but she loves tabloid gossip. So she's always telling me these stupid stories that I know are 100% not real, like Jennifer Aniston being pregnant again, and about 10% of her gossip usually checks out. So I just wanted to ask, like, where do you get your sources from and how do you guys make sure that what goes on the site is real, and have you ever made any mistakes? Thanks a lot. Bye.
I love her accent.
She's cute. That is a good question. That's the number one question I get when I tell people what I do for a living is, where do you get your sources? And a lot of, especially older people, Denise was talking about her mom, they'll read the covers of the tabloids. They'll think celebrity gossip is trash, that it's all lies, or they'll believe them. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of worse. We know which ones to avoid. And, if you follow us on the site, you'll know that we don't cover stories from OK Magazine. They're always garbage. And a lot of the other tabloids, the cover stories they'll run will be completely wrong, because those will move copies, but some of their internal stories are accurate, especially about the lesser celebrities.
Yeah. For a lot of the tabloids, it's a mixed bag. Us Weekly and Star Magazine pays for stories. So occasionally they'll get something really good.
Yes.
So-and-so celebrity was really rude to a waiter, and it's because the waiter sold the story. I think those are interesting little gossip stories that you can believe. That's always fun and interesting.
Sometimes it's based on pictures too.
Yeah.
And you can see the pictures and you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I used to put a lot more faith in Us Weekly, but they got bought out by AMI.
Yeah, that's the parent company for National Enquirer. And National Enquirer is embroiled in the whole scandal with paying off sources for stories about Trump and burying them.
Yeah, catch and release.
What is it called? Catch and kill?
Yeah. You're right. Catch and kill, not catch and release. Sorry. I
don't know.
Yeah, we stopped talking about Radar Online. We don't even cover anything from the National Enquirer anymore because we're so upset about the Donald Trump, David Pecker situation.
And how much they trashed Hillary was disgusting. When they were managed by David Perel, I think was his name, they were fine. They had more integrity, and they were trashy, but their stories were usually accurate. They're not accurate, but more
believable.
Yeah. They had a grain of truth somewhere in there. But they just really leaned into this deplorable bullshit, and we stopped covering them. We had a woman, our friend Stacy, was scanning the tabloids for us, and she would just post them for us to read internally. And so you may remember when we used to cover a lot more from Star, from In Touch, and from Enquirer, but we stopped doing that in the past couple of years. It just wasn't worth it. A couple times, I originated stories which were wrong. And I learned my lesson with this. One big one, which Jennifer Aniston herself commented on. We got a tip that there was a big celebrity wedding at a winery in Charlottesville, Virginia. And we called them up, and it seemed like they wouldn't confirm who it was because it might have been Jennifer Aniston. The people said they thought it was Jennifer Aniston and their friend was catering it or something. That was our tip. And so we ran with this story, and it wasn't her. It was some sports star or something. And you told me not to run it, and I still ran it.
Not even that. I remember that you made me write it up.
I'm sorry. I'm totally apologizing now.
No, it's okay. But I remember thinking that the tip was so sketchy.
Okay.
And that's basically what our jobs are, is figuring out if we believe something. My gut says this is not true. And then sometimes my gut is like, oh yeah, I believe that. But I just thought that tip of Jennifer Aniston is suddenly in Virginia and she's getting married, I didn't believe it.
Well, I think there was some connection for, who knows? And she never did get married or divorced, and no one's talked about that either.
Yeah.
So she didn't marry that guy. No one picked that up. You've been covering that and talking about it for years. She never married Thoreau.
It's been a whole year, and we've never had any sort of divorce filing because guess what? Jennifer Aniston and Justin Thoreau weren't legally married.
No, they weren't married.
And no one else is talking about it. No one else. I'm like the only one talking about it.
People don't want to call her on it. Once, all right, here's my most embarrassing story that I ever made up. Once in 2008, I saw, those little lines that Brad Pitt has tattooed on his back. Mm-hmm. And he's since said that his kids drew them or something, or that Angelina drew them. Mm-hmm. I was really bored. And I looked at them and I knew he had just moved to New Orleans and he cared about Hurricane Katrina and he was involved in those charities. And I thought it was the levees from Hurricane Katrina. So I ran this crazy bullshit out there story. I just looked at Wikipedia and it sort of did look like that. Like it sort of lined up. It turned out I was looking at the roads in New Orleans, not the levees. And then Daily Mail picked it up and I'm really glad that they didn't credit me because I was so fucking wrong about it.
The Daily Mail has picked us up a few times without crediting us, and it always upsets me. But
in that case, I'm really glad they didn't credit me because I was so off base. It was totally wrong. It was so stupid of me. You know how it is when the gossip's dead and you're like, oh my God, what do I cover? Mm-hmm. And then you're just trying to get some angle or something. You're like, I can figure this out. I'm going to figure out the significance of Brad Pitt's stupid tattoo. That was wrong. Another time I saw, it was 10 years ago, there were pictures of Colin Farrell and Minnie Driver at the beach. And she had either just had her baby or was heavily pregnant. And I was like, ooh, maybe he's her mystery baby daddy. She was best friends with the woman he was dating and she was there too. It's just in the pictures I saw, she wasn't in those. So I deleted that post. I felt really bad. And I try not to speculate that much anymore about stuff like that. So we are wrong a lot.
I ran a story about also Colin Farrell, and he was out with his sister, and I didn't recognize his sister, and I suggested that his sister was his girlfriend. I didn't delete that story. I look back on it now, I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot.
I've been making a lot of mistakes lately, and people have been really super nice to me. I thought Don Cheadle won the Oscar for Hotel Rwanda. I totally remember his acceptance speech.
I think he won something else, a Golden Globe or something.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, oh, he won the Oscar. And I was totally wrong. And people were really nice about it. When people yell at us and tell us we're stupid, just imagine if the whole internet could monitor your job and tell you everything you got wrong. Yeah. And how that feels. Like I still write shoe-in, like I thought it was shoe-in, like it's toe the line is written T-O-E. I always thought it was T-O-W. And then a few years ago, I learned it was toe the line, T-O-E. So I thought it was shoe-in, S-H-O-E, but it's whatever. But people are, as long as you're nice to us. You probably knew that about shoe-in, didn't you? So comments of the week. This week, I have 2 comments. I covered a story about Hannah Beachler. She's the Oscar winner for Best Production Design for Black Panther, and she gave one of the best speeches of the night, thanking Ryan Coogler. I covered her press conference backstage. The guy who co-presented with her, everyone was praising him because he didn't talk over her. He didn't talk at all backstage. He was just, she's the boss, He just lets her talk. And that was kind of awesome. I really like the part where she said the first time she walked on a set for Black Panther was the casino, and she was alone, and she got down on her knees and she just started crying because it was like her dream come true, and it was amazing. And she'd never seen anyone who looked like her doing this. And so Valiantly Varnished commented in that post. She said, "This got me so emotional. I remember being told when I was young and studying acting that I would never work that much because I was a Black girl. It crushed my spirit. And though I continued to act for some time after that, it was never the same for me. And I eventually stopped because the amount of work didn't match the reward." And then she went on to say that she's a writer now and that it is so nice to see Black artists and creatives being lifted up because it has been the opposite for so long. And I just thought that was bittersweet and sad, but moving. And I'm glad that she commented that. And how many people of color have quit jobs or just given up in careers because the opportunities are not there and the examples are not there, you know, and then fucking Green Book wins the Oscar, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then she also said a nice thing about us. So she said, you ladies at Celebrity seem like so much fun. What I'm sure what you do is a lot of work. It also seems like a blast and a dream job. So thank you. I don't always think of it that way, but we appreciate that. And so my comment of the week was this goofy one from Kitty Cat on the story about Irina Shayk unfollowing Lady Gaga on social media before the Oscars. And I like the way you covered that, by the way, because you're like, I don't follow everybody all the time. You know, sometimes I unfollow them. It's not personal. So Kitty Cat said, sure, Bradley and Lady Gaga are knocking boots. What's their couple name? Gagley?
You love a pun. You love a wordplay or a pun.
It's a portmanteau or whatever. And I know that because Kate always uses that word, and I like that portmanteau, gaggly, because it really sums them up, you know.
Well, they're not a couple.
Right? And if they were, I'd be like,
there were so many absolutely golden comments on all of the Miranda Lambert posts. There was one that I can't find right now. It was basically like, it's not so much that Miranda wants someone to fall in love with her, it's that she wants to be preferred to some other woman.
Oh.
And that was very profound, I thought. Here's another one that I just thought was funny. Someone commented, this is on a Miranda Lambert post. They said, this is so trashy. Oh my God, Khloe approves. And it's true. The week before the Oscars, we had so much trashy gossip, and it was so much fun.
It was fun. We needed that because the lead up to the Oscars is usually all Oscars and all boring award stuff. So that was fun.
Yeah, it was Miranda Lambert and Khloe's relationship imploding, and it was all so trashy and so stupid and amazing.
Ooh, I love how you were writing. You were like, how much is Miranda Lambert mad at Khloe Kardashian for stealing her thunder?
Well, seriously, Khloe's thunder is still happening. You know, she's still milking this storyline, and meanwhile, we haven't written about Miranda in several days.
That's Khloe's job. Those Kardashians are pros at that.
Yeah.
That is their job to make us talk about them.
That's very true.
And they work it. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for listening, bitches. I'm just leaning into that now. I like it. At first I was like, no. And I'm like, okay.
All right. Well, thanks again, bitches.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the Celebrity Podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes or your platform of choice. It really helps us out and we appreciate it a lot. You could also tell a friend about us. You can find us at celebrity.com. That's CELEBITCHY. And that's also our handle on Twitter. And we're on Instagram as Celebrity Official. Thanks again.